Well, welcome. And to start, I want each of you to think about the greatest change that you have seen in your own life. I'll give you a minute or 10 seconds to think about when is a time in your life that you've seen the greatest change. What was that like? What did you move location somewhere? Did you personally change? Did you change emotionally, spiritually, physically? When in your life? McKenna, could you share?
Yes. Probably the biggest change has been having kids, and that has changed all the parts of my life, actually. So, physically, yes. And mentally and emotionally, definitely, for lots of different reasons. I've talked about this before, where I understand now, how much our Heavenly Father loves us, as a parent. That I couldn't really understand that before having kids, truly, and now I can, I have a better understanding of that. Even just, my sensitivity to things and, the world. Shows that I used to watch without kids, I'm like, oh, I don't like that anymore, because I'm more sensitive to things. There's a lot of, selflessness that comes with having kids. I'm not perfect at it, but I've noticed that I'm different in that way as well. Just all of your everything in your life goes towards your kids when you have them, so.
That's cool. Before you had kids, were you nervous?
No.
Oh, okay. Were you weren't nervous at all for the change?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
Well, that's good. I would say for me and for most people, right, when change takes place in life, it brings a lot of fear and anxiety. People don't go out looking for change, right?
Yes.
A lot of people stay stagnant because they don't like, maybe not growth, but they feel uncomfortable with change, right?
Yep. I will say probably with my first, I did not. I think there was more the excitement, but the 1 to 2 transition, yes, there was a little bit more. So I will say that there was a little bit more stress about how to manage 2 kids.
Yeah. Well, that is kind of the purpose today of this presentation, is to help, right, everyone kind of learn 2 principles that, if applied, can help us better adapt to change. And so going to the first, most importantly, we learned that change is, it's constant, right? It's always changing. And so with these 2 principles, right, will help us adapt despite the constant change. So the first principle that we see is first, right, is to reframe your thinking. And so this is important, right, because I think sometimes we get in the mindset of just change. But I know for me that when I reframe my thinking, that it allows me to process more. For example, my husband and I, he's in the process of trying to change majors. And at the beginning, I was very stressed, what are we doing? We gotta have life figured out. And so it was very stressful for me. But as I reframed my thinking and realized that Heavenly Father, He's in control, and He will help us know when He needs us to know. And so as I've reframed my thinking, it gives me confidence and it gives me peace despite the constant change. So, right, the question for both of you is, how do I need to reframe my thinking with the change that's going on in my life? So, okay, step 2 is, you can do it again, is to count your blessings. And this kind of goes right along with step 1. But in the next slide, we will read a quote from President Nelson, who is the leader or the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And President Nelson, he says, gratitude provides us with greater perspective on the very purpose and joy of our life. And so President Nelson, right, this leader talks about if we are able to have gratitude despite the change, if we're able to have a different perspective, we'll be able to have joy despite the constant change. Now, to kind of wrap things up, when I was looking at what the word change means, I thought it was interesting what the Oxford Dictionary said. And so the next slide, it says, the definition says, replace something with something else, especially something of the same kind that is newer or better. Substitute one thing for another. And when we change, we are becoming better. Even though it's hard, we as individuals are becoming more than what we could have been if we stayed stagnant, if we didn't change. So my invitation is to consider how you can change and apply these principles. Thank you.